Hello, everybody. Welcome to another ZoukCast episode. This week we will talk about a controversial subject, like what it takes to be a good teacher. And as every week, I have my friend and co-host Nymph here. How are you doing, Nymph?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you today?
Fine too. So Nymph will be in charge of the chat as always. So if you have any question for our guest or for ourselves, just ask on the chat and Nymph will read you and will ask or will read the message to us. And now we'll say hi to our special guest, Val Clemente from Brazil, now in Russia. How you doing, Val?
Hey, hello everyone.
You are too close to the screen. You need to do your thing, like.
Yeah.
Okay, so I invited Val Clemente to this episode because for me it was one of the great discoveries last year as a teacher. I was with him teaching on the weekend in Berlin of last summer, and I got a blast in his classes because I witnessed how a good teacher he is, how good he is in trying to transmit the information to the students, and also he is a little bit opinionated about why somebody shouldn't be teaching Zouk or somebody should be teaching Zouk. But I read on your Facebook one joke that you make that you said like, if you want to teach Zouk, you first need to learn Zouk,
Yeah. For me,
right?
that's the first step. You need to be student to be
Yeah,
teacher.
to be a teacher first, you have to know what you're teaching, right?
Right.
So, but let's talk a little bit about you, okay? And the first thing I want to know is who is your teacher? Who did you learn with?
Okay. I had like four teachers when I started to dance around 15 years ago. When I started to dance together, like a ballroom dance, some Brazilian dance. I had four teachers: Marcelo Martins, Érico Rodrigo, and Raquel Buscácio and Vanessa Galvão. All of them, they came from Jaime Rocha Dance School. But with
Mhm.
Érico, I started to dance Zouk.
So you started dancing Zouk in the Jaime Russian dance school.
No, the teachers came from Jaime Rocha Dance School,
Okay.
but when I started, they opened a Conexão Dance
Okay.
School in Rio de Janeiro.
And when did you start teaching yourself?
When I started to teach by myself, like nine years ago.
9 years ago.
Bef-
Okay.
yeah,
So
9 years
it's
ago.
been a long time.
Before I was a student.
Okay. And in your opinion, how long does it take for somebody to start and be a teacher, or what does it take to be a good teacher?
Um, for me, I always take a serious the dance, and so I try to compare like a university. If you start in university, you need to spend around 4 years. For me, that same 4 years is enough to be a teacher. Of course, if you go every day, like during the week, doing class, different kind of class, trying to read more about dance, try to watch videos. So if you really dive it,
And yeah, you go every day and you go dancing and you
yeah.
live the thing. So why did you wrote that joke in the Facebook? Were you meeting uh, some people teaching that shouldn't be teaching, or did you meet somebody that taught the wrong things for Zouk?
A lot of people. Now it's easier. I think like 20 years ago was so difficult for information come. You really needed some time ago a teacher for come and start to teach you. Then you start to know some new dance. But now it's so easy. You can open your computer and you can find a lot of steps, a lot of information about dance but it's not class. And some people just get confused about that, and they start to train from the internet, and they feel like now I'm a teacher, but teacher is totally different thing. You need to know how to give the information. And if you can make the steps, you can just do the steps, you're a dancer. Yeah, I trust that some people can be a good dancer from the internet if you train, if you have a partner, if you have some special talent. But to be a teacher, you need to be student for a long time. That's so different.
Yeah, because it's a very different skill to dance and to teach. Because for teaching, you don't only need to be a good dancer, you need to be a good communicator, and you
Yeah,
need to have different skills, right?
yeah, I agree. I agree. Usually I say, of course, not totally correct what I say now, but for me, the teacher starts from the mind to the body, the way for teaching. And the dancer is the different one. You start for the body. You need to repeat, to make your body understand more your consciousness. Then you start to put it in the mind when you have some show or something. I think it's different ways.
Yeah. So you, what you're trying to say is that a dancer starts by copying some moves, or a dancer from YouTube starts by copying some move. But in order to be a teacher, you first need to understand
Yeah,
the
yeah,
basis and the foundation.
yeah. To be a teacher, you need to understand all the process
Yeah.
into the movement. No, it's different than just show the movement, just do the movement. For me, it's totally different.
In actually, this Sunday we will have a special episode of ZoukCast with the Vietnamese group of Zoukers,
Oh, nice.
and they started dancing by watching YouTube videos because they didn't have any teacher. So we will talk with them about that, about how they manage to build a scene just from YouTube. But
Nice.
going, yeah, it will be a nice episode to watch after yours, you know. So, uh, in your opinion, uh, because I feel like in the congresses, the organizers, when they hire people for performing a show, also for teaching, and also for dancing on the nights. So the people that they are hiring, they have to be good dancers, good performers, and good teachers. But sometimes I feel like a very good teacher is not a good performer, or a very good performer is not a good teacher.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, so why do you think that organizers don't try to hire everybody for their skills? Like I can hire somebody just for the show, and then I can hire somebody else just for the class. Why do you think that they don't do that, and they make everybody to do everything?
Um, and now we start to talk about business, yes?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah, because now we have a lot of good organizer when you talk about promotions or marketing or something to make a big congress, a big event. But for me, every organizer needs to be a dancer or teacher, or they need to contract some teacher or dancer to assist about that. Um, because now people just watching, for example, YouTube. If some dancer, he's a good dancer, and they have a lot of views on YouTube, and the organizer invite him, and they want to pay the same cash to be a teacher, dancer, and I don't know anything else. Um, but this is totally wrong, because when the students pay for a congress, for me, they are paying for class. So if you pay for class, you attend the class, you need a teacher there, a real
Mhm.
teacher to teach you. They pay for the parties. In the parties, usually you have a show. So if you have a show, you need to have a real dancer, a professional dancer performing, and
Yeah.
of course, teacher and performers to dance with the students. Sometimes students just pay and travel like hours flying just to catch you for one dance, you know? And that's
Yeah.
what I mean about. I think the organized need to, not all the organized, of course, but some organized they need to think more about the event, like to separate teacher and dancer and performer there.
Yeah. So, for you, a good teacher should be a good social dancer also.
Yes, yes. I think the teacher is the first one to teach you how to dance on the dance floor. So usually the
Yeah.
teacher is I just think a little bit different about the dancer. Sometimes you have a good dancer performing on the stage, but they are not good dancer on the dance floor. It's totally different.
Yeah. So that's why I was asking, because maybe some guy is a really great performer or some girl is really great performer, but then on the dance floor they don't perform so well socially. You know, like they are not so good social dancers. So do you think that the ability to teach is more related to the social dance than to the performance?
Yeah, yeah. The first step, yes. But of course, to be a good choreographer, you need to be a good teacher as well. You can make more choreography. You can teach people more to do the choreography. You can take more emotion if you need from your team. But the first step is for social dance. If you're a good teacher, of course you're gonna be and you're gonna make good dancers for social dance.
Yeah. So one word that come to me when I was watching you teaching in Berlin, it's for the first word is always fun. Your classes are really funny,
Oh, thank you.
and yeah, yeah, they are. I think they reflect your personality. You know, like you're a funny guy, and your classes are fun. But the second word that came to me, and this is not something that I see in every teacher, is empathy. Like you can put yourself in the place of the student. You can understand what the student is going through during the class, and you can put the concept in words that the student will understand. So do you think that empathy is a primary skill of the teachers, or maybe it's not so necessary?
For me, it's really necessary, because for me the students they are like a baby. Let's think it like that. Like just compare. They are like a baby. They need some emotion to get the information. So that's why I choose my way to be like fun in the class because I want to make people relax. When you're relaxed, it's easier to open your ear and then you can listen more. You can understand more the conception of the class. And some teachers they are really serious. Like they start the class serious, they finish serious. For me, it's a good way as well. If you keep that, you can open another emotion, kind of emotion to your students, and they will be serious and get focused until the finish. So I always try to make my students start to dance by the feeling. So if they
Yeah,
feel what you want to do, it's easier than you say they just understand, but they cannot to transfer this information for the body. You know?
yeah, I know. But I think that you managed to get both things. Like you managed to make people have fun, but also stay focused on the class. So, what's your secret for doing that?
Memory, memory. I cannot. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes some teachers they start to they take some funny moments in the class and they get lost. They forget what they was saying about the movement or something. I always have
Yeah,
everything what I have to teach. I have in my mind like step by step. And if I stop to do some joke, I know exactly where I finish. I stop it. Sorry. Then I
So,
can
so
come back
you
for
can continue with the information.
yes, and that's really important for teachers. And whatever is your way to teach, you need to control your class. Like not control your students, control your class. You need to know how you start, how you keep in the class, or how is the top, when is the top of your class, and how to finish your class. And if you have that control, for me, whatever you want is gonna be really nice.
I have a
Yeah.
question, Val.
Okay.
To be a good teacher, do you have to have experience or knowledge with other dances, like modern ballet or hip hop or some kind of other dances? Is it important? Yes.
Mm,
Why? If it's not important, why not?
ah, okay. I think not. You can be like a good teacher, just dance one kind of dance. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, if you have a good teacher,
Mm-hmm.
that's the secret. Um, but of course, if you wanna be like a
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
teacher, um gonna be really nice if you start to learn another kind of dance. Why? Not because you're gonna be professional in another kind of dance, but if you
Mm-hmm.
know, and some students come, just an example, some students come from you to you,
Mm-hmm.
uh, from the salsa or from the ballet, and you know a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of salsa or a little bit of ballet, you can tell more clear to your students how's the difference between salsa and zouk, for example.
Yeah.
If you
But
know more dance, it's gonna be easier.
Zouk is also a mix of other dances. They mix like ballet kind of movement, modern or jazz or hip hop kind of movement. They mix in Zouk. So what is specific a Zouk teacher? Or if a teacher has more experience with other dances, can he teach students better the techniques, more the fundamentals of Zouk?
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Now I'm not talking about zouk. I'm talking about body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our body, it's like a dictionary.
Yes.
You need everything what you learn. It's like a new word that you put in your body. You know,
Yes,
of course.
but what I see mostly, like people in Holland go to kind of teacher's course. They follow a couple of weeks training in some dance school. But for me, it's important that the teacher knows also about the human body anatomy. They have to know how the body works, how the muscles work. That's important, and that's study that can take months or years.
Yeah,
So, and those people that are teaching here to become a teacher in a couple of weeks, and they don't know the proper basics of Zouk, they don't know any other dancers. They go just they study a couple of weeks and they have a certificate, and they think they are teachers.
yeah.
Is that good or is that?
Yeah, I think the first problem is how these people learn.
Mhm.
They are always taking class like a crazy. For example, it's easier and when you have one teacher who can give you the base.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter if this teacher dance another dance or not, but you have a base. You have something to compare when you learn something different.
Yeah.
For me, that's the first step. Really easy to make it easier to be a good teacher.
Mhm.
And of course, to know about anatomy, about how your body works, it's really
Yeah.
important. When you start, I told you like if you read more about not only about dance, about body, how your body works
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
do something.
Yeah.
For example,
Because yeah.
now I'm doing class. I'm taking class from one girl from Brazil. She's
Yeah.
a doctor in, I don't know in English. I think it's biomechanic.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
and so I'm learning a lot about body, about everything about body. And now I'm trying to transfer step by step. That's for my class or for my
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
So
agree.
yeah, so because I study yoga and also during my yoga study, I also study the human body anatomy. So I know how important it is to know about how the body works before you can teach. I think a good teacher is someone that is never stop learning. They are just learning all these techniques, movements, anatomy, even new things that are developing in the dance, learning. Is that okay?
Yeah, for me, of course, it's okay. Everything. If you want to make something really grow or keeping growing, you
Yeah.
need to study all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. Um, if you see like a racers, some years ago, the cars was really old, really crazy, and now the car is almost flying, you know.
Yeah.
Because they are always studying. They are always trying to take a different way or different classes, different ideas. It's the same about
And
dance.
another question, a teacher, does the teacher want the student to know what he knows, or is a teacher that want the best for the student? What should be a good teacher?
What the best for the students?
Always the best for the
Of course,
student.
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Even if it's best for the student to go to other school, would a good teacher say that?
I did that in my life. I sent some students to really,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
the three of us did that sometime.
yeah, I did a couple of times. I see students dancing and I ask them, do you like this dance or do you like some other kind of dance? And then they say like, hey, I don't feel like, or I have seen some Lambada dance, and I say them honestly, it's maybe better to go to Lambada school because the way you move, the way you feel, I can see that the Lambada dance is maybe better for you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did it exactly like a lambada. I have a team and we train every Sunday in the morning.
Mhm.
And one guy from my team, they came to me and said, "Val, that's so difficult when you start to talk about body movement or body isolation, and I feel so comfortable when I start to dance lamba zouk." And I said, "If you want, I can call to my friend who teach lamba zouk, a good
Mhm.
teacher, and you can go there." And now he's there, happy, dancing
Yeah.
lamba zouk,
Yeah.
and we didn't lose him for dance, you know. He
Yeah.
keep dancing, but not my style. No?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, Val, who decides when somebody becomes a teacher? Is your own teacher who should decide, or maybe there should be some authority figure in the Zouk world that maybe Adilio should say like, "Hey, you are a teacher now." Who should decide?
Um, in my opinion, I know that now we are far from that dream, but the school, the dance school.
The dance school.
When I started, I told you about like to compare the Zouk and university to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So if you have a school and in this school you have a different kind of teachers and you can like do some tests, some exam, something like that, and like a 6 by 6 months
Mhm.
after 4 years, you can like you can make yourself teacher, you know, because you have to pass test by test, you have to training 6 by 6 months. Then the school can give you can say that you're a teacher.
So you think that there should be some kind of exam or certification, like a standard certification for being a teacher? Because there are so many different styles that I guess that every school will have a different exam and with different material. So how do we manage to get like a uniform level for everybody, for every school?
Yeah. For we need to start from the base because when we it's always on the base where we can meet another dance. So I have my style and I can dance with a girl from Lambazouk. And of course I cannot start doing like some kind of modern Zouk movement in the first second of the dance. I need to start from the base. I need to meet her on the base. Then you can start to fly together. And for me, that's what the school needs to teach this kind of teacher. After from this time, doesn't matter if you there is a lot of different kind of styles. If everybody try to keep the same base, that's gonna be easier because you need to first you need to communicate. If you have a good communication to start, doesn't matter where are you flying.
So I guess that for everybody to maintain the same base, there should be more communication between schools, and there should be like a, I don't know, like a congress just for teachers, like where they gather together and they discuss things and they set standards. What do you think
Yeah,
about that?
that's very nice. That's the Congress, you know. The most part of the Congress that we have, it's not like a complete Congress. Because if you compare about engineer or I don't know medicine, some kind of other kind of Congress, usually when you go to, for example, engineer Congress, there is a lot of engineers. Everybody's a professional there, and somebody older give a speech, and they talk about how the engineer was like 20 years ago, and somebody from I don't know from other kind of professional they start to talk a little bit. For me, that is the real Congress.
Yeah,
Um,
because now congresses are more like a big party for students, and I wouldn't call them congresses, but I would call them festivals,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I think they can call Congress, but I think it's gonna be really nice if they open a day, I don't know, or some classes for teachers
Yeah.
to do some exchange, I don't know, or everybody just learning from some teacher, some new teacher, some old teacher. I think that's gonna be nice because I can come to my school and I can tell to my students, um, I start the base from this movement or from this fundamental, but for example, Neve, there he starts from another movement, this movement, and my student knows that my student can compare. So if my students go to the party and dance with your students, for example, they don't gonna be confused, because they know a little bit about that.
Nice. So now I will do a little bit of shameless self-promotion, because this year, next year on July, we are doing the Zouk Devils Festival. And by the way, Val, I never said that to you, but I want you to be there. I want you to invite to our festival on,
Oh my
on
God!
July 25th. Okay. So what we will do is the regular festival will be from Thursday to Monday, but the 3 previous days will be like a closed congress just for teachers. And I'm inviting the MSU creator, Mestre Yeye, to do a three days intensive, not master classes with him, but like for instructors and teachers to share the information with him mainly, so we can all share information and learn from Mestre Yeye. And that's the main goal, like to make instructors and teachers share information and establish this communication that I think that is missing on most of the congresses. So
That,
if you can make it, I will be happy to have you there also.
okay, I will.
Okay.
I will
And
accept.
since we have like 2 minutes left, let's talk a little bit about your future, because next year you told me after the Brazilian Carnival you're going to Berlin.
Yeah,
Are you going to live there?
yeah. I want to be there. I want to be in Berlin, but now, of course, we have a lot of things to do to organize about that, and we see. Yes, I need to take. Yeah, because a lot of papers, a lot of documents, a lot of things. But of course, I want to be there. I'm keeping talking to everybody, all the students from Berlin. Every day I have somebody where I talk, because I want to be there like maybe for 5 years, for 4 years, to make this scene. Berlin is a very good scene, and now I want to make the scene grow.
Nice. So that's why I told that you are a really good teacher, because you spend some days there and they don't want to let you go and they want you back for 5 years. So that speaks good of you.
They took my passport, no?
Nice. So now, just now we are 30 minutes in the show. So it will be the day that we will be more punctual on the duration of the show. So I want to thank you, Val, for being here, and I hope that you can be again on the show in the future.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Very nice this idea. Thank you, very nice. Thank you, very nice. Thank you very much, Nymph. And please, everyone, sorry about my English. I'm trying to speak Russian here. And
Okay,
I lose my English, I lose my Portuguese.
Okay, so thank you, Val. Thank you, Nymph, also
Thank
for
you.
being here.
thanks.
As every week. See you next. See you actually on Sunday, because on Sunday we have a show with the Vietnamese Zouk group. They call Heart Zouk, and they are a very nice bunch of people that I would like you to meet and to watch. So it will be Sunday at 12 o'clock in the morning, Central European time.
Yes.
Right? I remember good, Nymph.
Yeah.
So that's all. Thank you very much for being here, guys, and see you on Sunday.
Okay, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.